Our first step is to write our four numbers as a list. Always keep the decimal point fixed. I'm now going to fill up each number with zeros, so they all have 3 digits after decimal point. Reading each number from decimal point. Well, the smallest number here I can see is 309, so that goes first. So 0.309. The next smallest number will be 320, so 0.32 is the next smallest. Our next smallest number is 350, so 0.35 will come third. And finally, my largest will be 400, i.e. my 0.4. From the list, write down a multiple of 3. Well, a multiple of 3 are its 3 times table. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Here, a multiple of 3, therefore is 18. Our whole number has no decimal part. So at a decimal point, I'm going to draw a line. The number to the right of my decimal, that's called my decider. If my decider is 5 or more, I round up the previous digit. So as 6 is 5 or more, I round up the previous digit. So 4 add 1 becomes 5. Write 3/4 as a decimal. Well, that's 0.75. If you don't know 3/4 as a decimal off by heart, the number you're dividing by always goes outside the bus stop. I can do short division. Number on the top goes inside, in this case 3. Well, I know 3 is the same as 3.0. I can have as many zeros after decimal point as necessary. So does 4 divide into 3? In this case, no. So I put 0 down, always keep decimal point fixed, and I carry the 3. How many 4s divide into 30? Well, I know in this case it goes in 7 whole times, as 7 times 4 gives you 28. And as I have 30, the remainder is 2. Again, add another 0. And now 4 goes into 20 5 times. Write down the value of the 7 in the number 8,765. Reading from the right, that's our ones, that's our tens, that's our hundreds. So as the 7 is in our hundreds column, therefore it's going to be 700. As it's fair, we know it has an equal chance of landing on each side. As the one the probability is C, count up how many sides have C. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So the number of successes, as 4 sides are being successful, we divide it by 8, which we can simplify by dividing top and bottom by 4, which will simplify down to give us a half. On the probability scale, mark where across the probability the spinner will land on D. Well, no side has letter D on it, so therefore it's impossible. And we know 0 is impossible. On Monday, they sold 18 eggs. Therefore, we know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 quarters equals 18. Therefore, to find out how much 1 quarter is worth, I'm going to do 18, the total number of eggs sold on Monday, divided by my 6 quarters. 18 divided by 6 gives us 3. So each quarter now represents 3. Therefore, 3, 6, 9, 12. Therefore, 1 full circle represents 12 eggs. On Tuesday, the shop sold 24 eggs. Well, I know 1 full circle represents 12 eggs. As I want 24, therefore I'm going to draw 2 full circles. Wednesday, the shop sold 27 eggs. Well, I know 1 full circle represents 12, so I'm going to have 12. Another full circle. 12 add 12 will be 24. As I want 27, I need an extra quarter of a circle, so now a quarter of a circle represents 3. Write down the coordinates of the point A. Well, a coordinate is always given as x, y. We go along the corridor, up or down the stairs. Locating point A, it's gone positive 2 in the x direction, and it's gone up positive 3 in the y. So as a coordinate, it's 2, 3. Locating B, it's gone nowhere in the x direction, so that's 0, and it's come down negative 1 in the y, so therefore it's 0, negative 1. On the grid, mark where across the point negative 2, 1. Label this point C. Well, negative 2, 1 means I'm going to go negative 2 in my x direction, and as it's positive 1, I go up positive 1 in the y direction, and label that point C. The number of red counters in the ratio number of blue counters is 3 to 4. Write down the fraction of counters that are red. Well, the number of red, we know red there's 3 parts, so the fraction will be 3 divided by, in total, we're going to add up the red and the blue number of parts. So 3 add 4 gives us 7 parts. So the fraction that's red is going to be 3 divided by 7. Write the ratio 12 to 30 in the form 1 to n. Well, underneath, writing 1 to n, what's happened? On the left-hand side, my 12 has become 1. What do I divide 12 by to get down to 1? Well, I've divided by 12. Whatever I do to the left, I must do the same to right to keep my ratio equivalent. And 30 divided by 12. I can see that top and bottom are both divisible by 6, as they're both in the 6 times table. So I'm going to divide top and bottom by 6. So 30 divided by 6, that will give us 5. And the bottom 12 divided by 6 gives us 2. And 5 divided by 2 will give us 2.5. So therefore it's 1 to 2.5. Alternatively, as I want a ratio 12 to 30 in the form 1 to n, I could start by simplifying my ratio. I can see 12 and 30, they're both divisible by 6. So I'm going to divide both sides of my ratio by 6. On the left-hand side, 12 divided by 6 will give us 2. On the right-hand side, 30 divided by 6 gives us 5. Now we've got in the ratio of 2 to 5. I want to form 1 to n. What do I divide 2 by to get down to 1? Well, I half it. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. Whatever I do to the left is the same to the right. So half the right, I divide by 2. And 5 divided by 2 gives us 2.5. Jenny has 12 marbles. A quarter of these 12 marbles are large. Well, off in mathematics means to multiply. So work out number large. I'm going to do a quarter multiplied by 12. When calculating a fraction amount on a non-calculate paper, we always divide by the bottom and times by the top. Well, 12 divided by 4 is 3. And 3 times 1 is 3. So I've got 3 large marbles. The rest of the marbles are small. Well, rest, as there was 12 to start with, I'm going to do 12, subtract the number large, in this case 3. And 12 subtract 3 gives us 9. Each large marble has a weight of 70 grams. I know there's 3 large marbles. So I'm going to do 3 times 70. 3 times 7 gives you 21. And then add the 0. So 210 grams. I know each small marble has a weight of 50 grams. And I know there's 9 small marbles. So therefore the total weight of the small will be 9 times 50. Well, 9 times 5 is 45. And I can add on a 0, so 450. As I want to work out the total weight of the 12 marbles, I'm now going to do 210 plus 450. Always starting on our right, our units. Well, 0 and 0 is 0. Our 10s column 1 add 5 is 6. Our 100s column 2 add 4 is 6. So 660 grams. Reflect the shaded shape in the mirror line. Well, reflection is a mirror image. One way we can do is we can look at each vertex separately. So looking at this vertex, how many squares away from the mirror line? Well, it's 1, 2. So a mirror image is going to end up 2 squares on the left-hand side on the mirror line. This vertex here was 1, 2, 3. So therefore, it's going to be 1, 2, 3 from the mirror line. This one was 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be 4 squares from the mirror line. This vertex here was 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to end up 1, 2, 3, 4 away. Now, getting a ruler and a sharp pencil. An alternate method when reflecting in a mirror line is to trace around the shape, use your ruler, and fold in that mirror line. So here was my mirror line. So I'm going to fold in this dotted line. And then press hard over your tracing paper. The diagram shows a number machine. Find the output when the input is 7. So if the input is 7, I'm going to first of all times it by 2. So 7 times 2, that will give us 14. That gets me here. Now I'm subtracting 3. And 14 subtract 3 gives us 11, which is our output. Find the input when the output is 41. As I'm given the output, I'm working backwards. So the opposite of minus 3, we know opposite of minus is to add. So I'm going to add 3. And 41 add 3 will give us 44. Now I'm up to this point here, and again I'm working backwards. The opposite of multiply by 2 is to divide by 2. I know that 44 divided by 2 will give us 22. The diagram shows 2 points A and B on a map. The diagram is accurately drawn. Find the bearing of B from A. When dealing with bearings, we always start from the word from. And now draw a line connecting A and B. As I want the bearing of B from A, I know I always start from the word from. So from A, I get my protractor. I always put the centre of my protractor on the point I'm going from. So in this case, from A. I put north on 0, 0, and I measure clockwise. So measuring clockwise, here I can see it comes out to be 25 degrees. A bearing is always given as 3 figures. Therefore, it's less than 100, it will start with a 0. So in this case, it'd be 0 to 5 degrees. Work out the real distance between A and B. If I'm working out distance, I'm going to use my ruler to measure that line because it's a length. So I'm getting my ruler, measuring the line AB, try to be as accurate as possible. Here for me, it comes out to be 5 centimeters. As it's 5 centimeters on the map, and the scale for every 1 centimeter, it represents 25,000 centimeters. And as it's got 5 centimeters, therefore it's going to be 5 multiplied by the scale, 25,000. That will give us 125,000 centimeters. As we want our answer in kilometers, first of all, I'm going to change from centimeters into meters by first of all dividing by 100. Because I know there's 100 centimeters in a meter. So dividing by 100, if it ends in zeros, I can just cancel off 2 zeros. Alternatively, bring a decimal in 2 places. So 125,000 divided by 100, that'll come out to be 1,250. That's in meters. As that's meters, but I want kilometers. Therefore, I know there's 1,000 meters in a kilometer. So when converting between meters and kilometers, I'm now going to divide by 1,000. So bringing my decimal in 3 places. So doink, doink, doink. Therefore, it comes out to be 1.25 kilometers.